Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Rich. Well, I made some videos on how to make your own Bokken. I guess I just didn't realize how popular YouTube was. Several thousand emails later, I guess I found out just how big it is. I got them from all over the place. England and Germany, Indonesia, all over the US, Canada, South America, Korea. And if I missed you, I apologize. Write me an email, let me know. Now, lately, probably within the last, I'd say, certainly 6 months to a year, a really popular email has been, how do I bend the curve in a Bokken? Now, I guess I thought I made this pretty clear in part one, that we don't bend the curve, we cut the curve. When you start with a grain-correct piece of wood, there's no need to bend the piece of wood. With the hopes of making this clearer, I've cut up this blank. It's out of pine, but it's to show the idea that, and you can see the curve, that the growth ring layers need to run vertical to the ground. And so what I've done is I've resawn this up into several, we'll call layers, growth ring layers. And so you get the idea that a grain-correct blank should have not only the grain running vertical to the ground, but that grain should run as best it can all the way down the Bokken. As I said in the first video, that part one video, making it to where you're striking this surface, that edge of multiple layers, as opposed to this surface, which is where layers will pop off. And it won't really take too long if you beat on a single growth ring for that piece to pop off. There's no need to bend this piece of wood. We can just cut that curve either with a saw or with a block plane and establish whatever curve we want. If we were doing it with the grain was in this fashion, again I'll show you the growth layers there, by cutting the curve like this, we'd be taking out, let's say, dipping out the section of this growth layer. And we'd be cutting off the edge of this bottom growth layer to where only maybe this section would, the center section would remain. That would be a disadvantage. And in point of fact, typically if people do make like furniture and stuff with curves, they do cut it, they actually cut it into layers like this, put it over a frame, and bend those multiple layers and glue them back together in a lamination process. Now, having touched on the lamination process, I should, I suppose, make it a point to comment on Bokken that are laminated. And there are some, now, I don't make laminated Bokken. Bokken for Aikido use, I can, look, them things that can give, will give. Them things that can't give, will break. Or even worse, they'll break somebody else's. Now, when you strike a Bokken to another Bokken, there's a certain amount of give. And you feel it in your hands, he feels it in his hands. I don't think it's appropriate for a weapon that you use as heavy as you use a Bokken in Aikido practice. That's only my opinion. Much like making weapons out of heavy exotic woods, like cocobola or babinga, laminated Bokkens or something, I just don't prefer. I know there's a lot of folks out there that, well, my Bokken, every time I take it to class, breaks everybody else's. I just don't think that's something to brag about. Let's touch on steam bending. It certainly is possible to steam bend a piece of impact grade hickory. This will require a steam box and something to generate the steam. Typically you have to, a piece of hickory, impact grade hickory, about this size is something you'll have in a steam box for about 45 minutes to an hour. With a steam box that's over 212, so over 100 degrees Celsius, and probably in the, I would say, probably 220, 225 degree range. And again, that's going to be for about 45 minutes to an hour. You're going to have a template or a mold essentially set up. So when you pull it out, wear gloves, and pull it out and bend it into shape and then carve it. But having said that, let me say this. You just took the time to build a steam box. If you spent money on that, to find some way to generate the steam, you have spent money on that. To make the mold, all this time, all this effort, and what you've done is you've completely infused that piece of wood with moisture. Now you're going to have to build yourself a kiln so you can kiln dry that piece of wood over again. Blanks that I send out are kiln dried. It's not a big advantage to you to bend that up, particularly if you're not going to make a lot of these. The method I showed uses a $20 block plane. Now, I have a complete wood shop. You know, it's certainly not an advantage to me to make it with a block plane, except that I enjoy carving. It gets a great result when I'm done, and I really enjoy it. Now, let's touch on something here. How to find a piece of wood. Here's a piece of hickory. This is shag bark hickory, which is one of the impact grades of hickory. When they make, from the sawmill, when you have the sawmill slab up your wood, or if you get it from the sawmill or whatever, see if I can get this to where you can see it. I hope that's clear. You can see how the grain's running just kind of this way a little bit. So the center of the tree was over here, and the outside of the tree was here. We happened to catch a piece that was cut with most of the grain this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take my template, and I'd lay it on in kind of this fashion, find the best place for it, so that when I cut this blank out, the grain will be running this way to it. I did these videos not really with an intention of starting my own business and making $1 million bucks, and well, I haven't, so I guess it worked. My hope was that this would be a forum where people could give their ideas, and that's worked. It's worked awesome. And a lot of you who have made Bokken have sent me pictures. Very cool. I had started a blog where I put some of them up. I'm sorry, it takes a lot of time, and I work for a living too. I do offer blanks. I can ship them just about anywhere. Again, I encourage you to look in your phone book under hardwood. A lot of times you'll just find flooring, but some of you will find hardwood dealers that have rough cut, rough sawn lumber. Many of you have asked for finished weapons, and I certainly will make you a finished weapon. I'll put the address over here on the toolbar, over here, and so you can kind of find out what that's all about. And strangely enough, a lot of you have asked for like half-finished weapons. I never really offered that, but I've had at least a dozen requests for people asking, can you carve most of it for me so I can finish it? Yes, absolutely, I'll do that too, no problem. I hope this clarified a little bit why you don't need to bend a piece of wood for a Bokken. And in fact, it's probably at a disadvantage. The first step really is a grain-correct piece of wood, and then cut the curve you want. I've gotten a response from many, many people saying, hey, you were right. One I made with my own hand really is the best Bokken I have. Even if it didn't come out perfect, every time you use it, you look at every little teeny feature on it, because you made that feature, and it's a cool thing. So I've said it several times, and I would certainly repeat it. Give it a shot. I think you'll enjoy it. Listen, I want to thank everybody who has written me, and please don't hesitate to write. Please take a second and rate the video. YouTube's really big on the whole rating the video thing. Make a comment if you want. And thank you very much. I appreciate it. And until next time.